What's up, everybody? Alex here from Pokemon TCG HQ. Happy New Year, everyone. It is the 2nd of January from when I'm recording this video. So hopefully you guys had already a great start to your New Year's. Hope your celebrations were great and you enjoyed all the celebrations and festivities that has just happened over the past couple of weeks. So this is going to be a really quick video just touching upon last weekend's results of the cups that actually occurred in the UK. And again, I'm going to be telling you and trying to remind you about the tournaments that are actually coming up across the UK as well. So without further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into it. But firstly, let me just have a quick reminder for all of you guys that the Portsmouth League Cup is on the 3rd of January, so tomorrow from when I'm recording this. I think they actually posted on the Facebook group that there was one more space that was available, or space had become available. So yes, it's another one of these capped tournaments. I don't actually know the number of players that are actually attending, but it is on a Wednesday, it is on a work day. Not too sure who can go other than university students, or if you've somehow got more time off work. Or kids, of course. It still is Pokemon, still is considered a children's card game or trading card game. But yeah, just a friendly reminder. The link will be in the video description if you can try and nab that last spot, or maybe put yourself on a reserve list and maybe they'll get to maybe contact you if anyone drops out over the night. But yeah, so last weekend we had Cannock League Cup that occurred on the 30th of December. So it took place at Chase Games again, just reminding everyone it's a great place. That they've held a few League Cups now. It was one of the places I was able to record a few games from before. I haven't been able to travel to many League Cups, just have my own stuff going on, so it means I haven't been able to record any games, and unless anyone volunteers to, it doesn't happen, unfortunately. But it did. Cannock League Cup did happen, just gone. And yeah, so these were the top 8 players and decks. So I'll just quickly go in my own list. So Nick Hinder was 1st seed with Zoroark Glispod. Jonathan Cowley was 8th seed with Lycanroc Buzzwole. Tamal Cameron was 4th seed with Greninja. Demetrius Eaton was 5th seed with Vikavolt Tapu Bulu. Reese Williams was 2nd seed with Xerneas Break. Luke Williams was 7th seed with Volcanion. Joe Bernard was 3rd seed with Volcanion as well. And finally, Callum Thomas was 6th seed with Vikavolt Tapu Bulu. So an interesting, I guess, quite an interesting list of decks that are available. I believe Xerneas Break sort of stands out. Mainly it's because it was something of a brainchild of the UK. I think I mentioned this before, but Reese has sort of stuck with this deck, and hasn't actually changed what he's been playing for a while now. So I feel, he knows the deck inside out from playing it multiple times now. And he's continued to do really well with it. I believe he was unbeaten through Swiss. So pretty well done to him. Luke Williams is quite similar. He's played the same deck over and over. Volcanion, he's again knows it inside out. So it's no surprise to see, if I see his name, that Volcanion is the deck that he's playing. So there's 2, because Joe Bernard also considered playing it. It was definitely the deck I actually considered, what I would have considered playing. I think a day before the tournament, I was just sort of mulling over sort of the ideas of what I would play, and Volcanion seemed to be top of the list. There was Tamal Cameron with Greninja, which everyone knows is a great deck, and obviously he's prior to a top 8 finish at the very least from the results. Personally wouldn't have played it, I guess, mainly because of Tapu Bulu, the amount of Tapu Bulu that tends to be running around now. As you see, there's another 2 that top cut. Lycanroc Buzzwole was pretty cool by Jonathan Cowley, and of course Zoroark Glispod has been, the deck to beat, essentially, or ever since it's won multiple tournaments now. But going into top 4, so we'll just quickly show you what happened. I mean, you can have a good guess about what happened. Lycanroc Buzzwole beat Zoroark Glispod with such a heavy Zoroark focus, being weak to fighting. And although Lycanroc's weak to grass, if Glispod can't really chain those Ace Rollers into first impressions into other Glissopods, the the Buzzwell and Lycanroc can actually just sort of apply too much pressure for the deck, and as you can see, this is how it won there. Tapu Bulu Vikavolt beat Greninja. Again, this is something sort of expected. With Tapu Bulu, you're just, unless you, to Mal Cameron, you go second, maybe you can, I don't know, bubble turn one and really paralyze the Tapu Bulu without your opponent having an out. They're taking prizes from the first turn because it's got that horn attack for 60 damage because of weakness. So it's generally quite a tough matchup. I know Tamar actually ended up tying against the Tapu Bulu in Swiss, which is very well fair play and well played to him. But I guess with any sort of stage 2 deck, it does sort of brick as well. Xerneas Break has a good matchup against Volcanion. It just loads up with energy. Probably why Xerneas Break has actually done quite well in this tournament, because there's not too many decks. I mean, Tapu Bulu is quite difficult to deal with, but generally it's got that sort of time to just Geomancy, bring loads of energy onto the board, and then actually start taking one-hit KOs with a one-prize attacker. And finally, Tapu Bulu also took out Joe Bernard's Volcanion, hitting 180. You got your Field Blowers to get rid of those Fury Belts, and you got Choice Bands to get rid of anything that does have that additional in HP. But it's I think it's quite a close matchup. But there you go, there we have it. So that was top 4. So only Reese of the top 4 the top 4 seeds actually made it to top 4. And when they played each other, so we had Jonathan Cowley, Lycanroc, Buzzwell playing Vikavolt Tapu Bulu, and Xerneas Break playing Vikavolt Tapu Bulu. So both Tapu Bulus made it into top 4 as well. And then we actually see the final. So Jonathan Cowley was able to beat Demetrius. So Lycanroc, Buzzwell again able to take out Tapu Bulu. I guess for me, it's quite surprising, but I have never really played a matchup. I've never really actually tested Lycanroc Buzzwell, but it must work well. Jonathan's a good player, so is Demetrius. He's played Tapu Bulu at a few tournaments now as well. But Jonathan's able to get into the final, so fair play. And yeah, so this is where Tapu Bulu can do that 150 damage, and actually take out knockouts on the Xerneas Breaks quite quickly, and just causes a lot of issues because of it. Just any Pokemon that can one-hit the Xerneas or Xerneas Break really easily without too much trouble, taking off an energy or two, and then with Field Blower stopping the EXP shares as well. That's where the deck struggles a bit. But if a deck's slower or is as slow as Xerneas Break, then Xerneas Break does tend to actually win a lot of matchups. So yeah, the final actually ended up being the 8th seed versus 6th seed. And between the two decks, like a Buzzwell versus Vikavolt Tapu Bulu, we did see and have a winner with Jonathan Cowley. So he became, the UK's last League Cup winner in 2017 at this Cannock League Cup, playing his Lycanroc Buzzwell deck. So congratulations to him. So like I said, it's an interesting group of decks. Not too much surprised me. I guess there was not too much Zoroark. There was only one in top 8. I believe, I'm not 100% sure, but there was a few bubbles as well, because it was quite a large tournament. I believe there was 60 plus masters. But there was a few who bubbled. I believe 1 or 2 of them was playing a Zoroark based deck as well. But I'm not too surprised that Tapu Bulu made it so far, and 2 even made it to top 4, considering the sort of run it's been on by other players as well. And sort of the players and names that I've seen in the top 8 are just generally very good players who I naturally would expect to do quite well. Like I said, I believe Volcanion is actually fairly well placed. Greninja is actually quite well placed outside of just a Tapu Bulu issues and being hit for weakness very quickly and very easily. But no, it was interesting. So we had Lycanroc Buzzwell, sort of a deck we haven't seen too often or too common in sort of the League Cup top 8s. But I guess just being able to apply so much pressure with strong energies and Lycanroc's ability to bring up whatever it wants and knock out wherever it wants, taking easy knockouts on things and preying on things like Zoroark, which are weak. ended up winning the tournament. So yeah, that's great. So I'm not really going to go touch upon any final thoughts because it was just a one tournament. I believe what I've said in other videos have actually probably still continued to be correct. Well, not correct, but my opinion hasn't changed. But yeah, so I'll just quickly now touch upon the upcoming tournaments. So like I said already from my very first slide, Portsmouth League Cup is tomorrow on the 3rd of January. So if you can maybe message them, see what's going on, whether there's any space. I know, like I said, there was definitely one space available, but whether it is now is I wouldn't know. But this weekend we do have 3 League Cups, and they're all on the Sunday. So we have Worcester League Cup, so a little bit south of Birmingham, I believe. Again, it was a cap tournament. I think it was a cap of 24 players. It's their first ever League Cup, so good luck to them. I was supposed to have paid and entered, but then I was thinking about it would have taken me a 3-hour journey, and I've just got a lot of stuff going on. I'm not too sure I can commit the time to even find pieces for a deck to be able to go to these tournaments. But yeah, so Worcester. We do have a Guernsey League Cup in the UK. I say UK, is definitely still part of the UK, of course, but a lot further away than most other places. It'll be a surprise if I can get the results for that to comment. I don't know. Maybe Nitish will have some idea of what's happened. But just letting you know, there is another League Cup there. And finally, we have Stockton League Cup up north. Also taking place on the 7th of January, so hopefully I can try and get the results of that tournament as well. But yeah, so at least that way I have a few more things to talk about, hopefully, if I can find out the results. But yeah, all the links and the descriptions of the tournament will be in the video description below, just for all of your guys' benefit, so it's all in one place again. If you do get a chance to go to any of these tournaments, please let me know. It'd be great to hear sort of what you played and what went well, and how the tournament actually was in the end. So yeah, so that's it. I'm just going to sign off with that quick 12 minutes video, probably longer than I wanted. I'll probably try to keep it under 10, but good luck if you're going to any League Cups, and speak to you soon, guys. Peace.